Good Monday morning to you all. Welcome to Monday Morning Musings with Steve. We're talking about forgiveness on Monday morning. You may need this week. We said in our other episode that forgiveness is a decision I make to remove like a legal charge from someone. And that's true. But forgiveness is more than that, particularly for a believer. My concern with what I said earlier is that forgiveness becomes kind of a commodity that I have to manage. Forgiveness isn't a commodity. Forgiveness is a state of being. Forgiveness is a quality of the life of God that is in the Godhead. The goal for a believer. We're going to start with just managing my offenses, even though that sounds like behavior management. I'm not talking about behavior management. We got to start there because we got to be able to reach something. But the goal is to live in a state of being where forgiveness isn't something I have to do when somebody hurts me, but forgiveness is the overflow of the very way I live life. It's the frequency of my existence. It's the vibe. It's the aroma that I put out. I'll just say it this way, that I am predisposed to forgive. I don't have to work at it. I don't have to try. I don't have to think of, what are the principles of forgiveness that I have to exercise now because I'm a Christian. The goal is to reflect the nature of God. And the analogies I like to use is it's not a crude one, but it's kind of basic. Odor eaters. What do you put an odor eater in your shoe for? Because you got stink feet, and you know that my feet are going to stink. So I'm going to put something in my shoe that's going to absorb that odor. Forgiveness for a believer is like being, for the world, spiritual odor eaters. Otherwise, I am preset to understand that people are going to hurt me. People are going to let me down. People are going to do, say, act dumb, stupid, and hurtful things. And I don't want to have to be like this. Oh, I'm on empty. Somebody cuts me off and I give them the finger and I got to work myself up to forgiveness. How much better if I'm already predisposed to bless their heart. I'm joking, that's a Texas thing. People say that, and that's code for you're really a jerk. But that's what religious people say instead of you're really a jerk. The idea is I want to have the capacity where forgiveness is as natural as my breathing is in my lungs. It's the atmosphere of my existence. It's the predisposition. It's not something I have to keep a chart on. I actually, God forbid, I know someone who actually recommended, I'm not joking about this, person does counseling, professional counseling. He tells his clients they need to keep a notebook beside their bed. And they need to keep a track of everything that they've done wrong during the day, every person that and they have to go one by one through that list every night. Otherwise, they're not in good shape with God because they haven't gotten, cleansed from their sin. I can't imagine living in anything more oppressive than that. No, it's not about keeping my diary of offenses, so I have to check them off so I can be a good little Christian boy or girl because I know that I'm going to be forgiven and that I'm going to forgive others. No, I want to be predisposed. Forgiveness, the predisposition of forgiveness, the attitude of forgiveness, now you need to get this, does not mean we don't talk about difficult things. That's a big one. Because, God, when God forgives, He removes it as far as the east is from the west, and He casts our sin into the sea of His forgetfulness. So if you've forgiven me, it means like it doesn't exist anymore. No! What works on the heavenly plane doesn't work on the human plane. We still get to talk about the stuff. And I can't tell you the number of particularly hyper-grace Christians who think that forgiveness means we never talk, we just need to forgive and we just need to love. And no. We can't live as humans like that. Particularly if there's perpetuating egregious behaviors that may be volitional, maybe somebody's psychopathic, maybe they enjoy hurting you, that happens. And maybe they're just weak, maybe they're just having a bad day. So, Everything I've said about forgiveness does not mean we do not have difficult and adult conversations about the behaviors that are necessitating forgiveness to begin with. And that's what he said.